Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Caliphate Faction in the game Global War 2025 Meltdown. So the Caliphate are an interesting faction to be sure. They're the black guys that you see there, and they're on the gray territories. Now what the Caliphate is that it's a if you banded together all the Middle Eastern factions, right, like the Muslim world, and you can see it spans the Muslim world, right, like it's in the Middle East and it goes across North Africa, but basically where the spread of Islam is, except for you don't see any like that. That's the a big Islamic country down there, Indonesia. They don't have that one in there, but they're not really part of the Caliphate, right? It's really just a Middle Eastern thing. And so this is unique in a couple of ways. First of all, the units are unique because they were 3D printed as opposed to being plastic like all the other units on the board. But also their abilities are much different than everybody else. Like they are a unique nation to play because they play by a sort of a different set of rules, right? But they're not that powerful. Like the amount of territory and stuff that they have is not that much. Like for instance, they only have 16 IPP to start out with, right? But so they're kind of fighting a guerrilla war, right? Is how I would best put it. They're just trying to do whatever they can to disrupt and everything, but their arsenal isn't that large, and the number of units they have to start with are not that large. So they're just basically going to be a thorn in the side, and hopefully more, depending on how lucky your rolls are for the interesting and unique abilities that they have available to them if they roll the right dice, right? So let's take a look down here at them. So this is their card down here, and they, like I said, they start with 16 IPP. And their cyber warfare is 4, so that's not too bad. Cyber warfare of 4, and I think they have a special ability for cyber warfare as well. Well, actually, all the Eastern Pact ones do. So they could try for cyber criminal, and so if you roll a 6, then the faction gets 1 to 6 IPPs to spend, right? So that's just an extra ability that the Eastern nations have. Now their strategic move, like I said, they're not very powerful, so they've only got 1 rail move. Like 1 unit can rail, and that's it. They don't have any sea lift or any airlift capacity, but their special ability is called insurgency, and that's what we think of them, right? When we think of the Caliphate, is their ability to try to influence people around the world, right? So they gain a +1 diplomatic influence roll of a neutral land zone when it has 3 or more infantry adjacent to it. So let's take a look at what that might look like. There's a couple of places here right off the bat that could qualify for that. So like this territory down in here, the Eastern African states, there's 2 Caliphate infantry here. There's 2 Caliphate infantry up in Egypt. So they could try to influence this one at a +1. Normally you need to roll a 6 to influence a nation. So for them, in this situation, they'd only have to roll a 5 or a 6. And here's another one right over here. They've already got 3 infantry in the North African Caliphate. They could go for Western Africa, right? Right off the bat if they wanted to, and get that +1 as well. So that's their special ability. Now, as far as their the weapons that they could develop, we've gone through all the other ones already in previous videos, and their weapons are basically all the same except for the bottom ones, right? But with the Caliphate, they only have one of those things that is the same as everybody, and that's the improved drones. That's the drones that moves 4 spaces instead of 2. So let's take a look at the other ones that they can get. So the first one up there is called social media recruiting, and what it says on that is, talented social media gurus with slick presentations of anti-Western propaganda fuel the Caliphate's drive for soldiers and foreign volunteers. During the Caliphate's end of turn phase, the player rolls a 6-sided die for each territory they own and on a 6 they add a free infantry. So every territory you own, you roll a 6-sided dice for. And during the game, like this game goes a number of turns, who knows how many extra infantry you could gain. So again, that's pretty unique, right? None of the other nations have that. But of course, you have to develop it, right? Another thing they have is Icbm. And what that'll do for them is they will get a free Icbm, and those are the most powerful nuclear missiles on the board. Like they go 8 spaces. They're intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? So they'll get a free one. They don't start with one. They only have 3 intermediate range ballistic missiles. And so after that, they can convert their intermediate range ballistic missiles to an Icbm. They can do 1 per turn if they want. And I think there's a cost to that. What is it? Yeah, 3 IPPs, they can convert that intermediate range. But, you know, they might not want to, unless they're trying to strike America. The intermediate range will probably be good enough for the little area that they're in already. So, but getting that free Icbm would be big time for them. So another one they have there is super virus. And what that is, the faction develops a supercomputer virus, the likes of which the world has never seen. The faction gets to immediately make a free critical infrastructure cyber attack with 5 extra die to roll for this attack, in addition to any of their own they wish to spend. So that's one of the things that you can do for cyber warfare. And what this is saying is if they have the super virus, they also get 5 extra dice to do that one particular type of attack. And the next thing they have here, let's just move this down a bit. There's a couple more left. So let's move it right there. So they're oil extraction. So basically what that is at the end of your turn, you roll a 6-sided dice, and whatever the number comes up, that's how much money extra you get. So you would collect your regular income, and you would also collect that income, right? That's pretty easy to figure out. And it's just to do with better extraction techniques for the oil that they have in the Middle East. And the last one is core resistance. So anytime one of the faction's starting territory is enemy owned and no enemy unit is there, the faction recaptures the zone. And you destroy any drone present. So that's obviously only the gray territories there, right? Your starting territories. Now, that's pretty cool because it's not that you would that somebody would necessarily leave that territory empty on purpose. It could be that there's only one guy there, so China or Russia, they could fire off a cruise missile and knock that guy out, right? And so there you go, that guy's gone and there's nobody left there. Well, the Caliphate gets that territory back and they didn't even have to attack the zone. So, you know, like there's a few different ways that can happen, right? And again, it's just another unique thing that the Caliphate can do in this game. We didn't look at their missile arsenal. Probably missed it because it's not very big, right? So you've only got a couple of nuclear cruise missiles and you've got 4 regular cruise missiles. So that's all you have. And then on the onboard weapons, you have, like I mentioned earlier, the 3 intermediate range ballistic missiles, and they're nuclear. So that's what you get as the Caliphate. And you know, like if there were 6 people playing this game and you got the Caliphate, it would be interesting, but it wouldn't be very powerful. But you know, it still would be fun to play, I think, just because of the unique abilities that they have. I don't think that the game is gonna, you know, hinge on your ability to become a beast. I don't know that they will become a beast in this game, but definitely they'll be interesting and be a thorn in the side of the Western Alliance over there. Anyway, that is the Caliphate faction. So, take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.